Okay, so we thought of creating a program on ALV reports to display traffic lights, right? Depends on the record status or record value, right? Depends on any condition. You can check the status of the record or the value of the record. You can take anything to display traffic symbols because of it will improve the visibility of the customer, like look and feel of the customer. So instead of displaying a plain ALV display, let's create a program. Or why don't we create a program? Why should we create a program? We'll just apply it on in our existing ALV report. It's very simple concept. Instead of creating a new program, we'll apply this in the existing program. We need to do small changes to the program. Okay. So what is the functionality? So it is displaying plain ALV report with predefined functionalities like sort, filter, right? Spreadsheet, export, everything. Now what we'll do? We'll take any condition. Let's take price. If price is less than 100, we'll display red. If price is less than greater than 100 and less than 500, we'll display yellow. If price is greater than 1000, we'll display red, right? As a traffic symbol here. So that user can identify the critical record and medium priority record and record without any issues. Okay. You can also take an example like if you take students example, like when you are displaying the report on the students, like student marks or student exam results, right? Whoever the students failed the exam, display red color. Whoever the students got average marks, display green color, sorry, yellow color. Whoever the students got good marks, display green color here at the beginning. Okay. So here in this example, we'll take price. If the price is less than 100, we'll display red. If the price is greater than 100 and less than 500, we'll display yellow. If price is greater than 1000, we'll display green. Okay. What is the prerequisite? We need one field for icon. So we need one field to display the icon. For that, what we need to do, define one field here. You may need to take a type structure here in this example. You need to create one type structure. Since we are using inline declarations, so we need to add one additional column here. Okay, we need to add one additional column. For that, we'll create a type structure instead of using fields in the table. Okay, how to create a type structure? Can you tell me the syntax?
Types, types big enough.
Okay, type structure name ty underscore. If this type structure is from type group, starts with which name?
Type group name.
Type group name. Okay, but it's not from the type group. It is local to the program. We are using ty, or you can also use gty or something. So what are the fields we need? We need all of these fields, whatever we are selecting in the join, because this is the final output what we are using. Paste it here for my reference, VBLN. What is the field name we are using in field catalog? Alias names, right? So what you need to take here, you need to take here alias names only. Or name doesn't matter. Anyway, it will place records into corresponding columns. Make sure data type is same. Whatever the data type you are using here and whatever the data type you are defining in the type structure should be same, should be matching. Order type, what is the VBLN? Data element? VA, I think. Create a date. Type ERDAT. Order type. Type AUART. I think data element names also same. That's why I'm taking like this. Don't remember the POSNR. Okay. Okay. Sales data. Now for icon, we need one additional field. I'll name it as icon. Type C. Okay. So along with standard columns, we need one additional column called icon. Okay. Define internal table LT underscore final sales type standard table of TY underscore sales data. Okay. And take one work area. Okay. Now, what is our requirement? What is our requirement?
The price is below 100 should be in red.
Yeah, we need to display traffic lights. For that we need to manipulate this final output, right? We need to populate the icon. Which icon you want to display? Is it green, yellow, or red? Right? For that, I have created a separate internal table with a separate type structure, and that type structure contains one additional field called icon, apart from whatever the fields we are selecting here in the data selection. Now, what we need to do? Populate or append all this data to a new internal table what we defined here, and in this new, when you are populating the data, populate corresponding status or corresponding icon. Okay, how can we do that? If sy hyphen sub rc equal to 0, then execute your loop statement. Loop, which one we need to loop the data which we are selected in the sales table, lt underscore
Maybe
sales data into, we did not define any work area, into data ls underscore sales data end loop. So whatever the data we selected in the join, we are appending it to a new internal table, and that new internal table contains one additional column called icon, right? Both are not matching. If both are matching, I'd have populate like this: lt underscore final sales equal to lt underscore sales data, like this. But both are not compatible, right? This internal table structure is different and this internal table structure is different. There is one additional column here in this internal table structure. That's why we are looping the table first and we need to append it. Populate the work area and append it. Okay. Now how to append? Append this work area. I'll simply use move corresponding. So it will automatically identify the corresponding fields and move the data. What is the alternative? Field to field mapping, right? Like this: ls sales data hyphen order equal to ls final data hyphen order. You need to do this field to field mapping for all the fields. Okay. So if you use move corresponding, it will automatically populate matching fields. But make sure the field names of this structure and this structure are matching same. Field names should be same. There should not be any difference in field names. For example, if you are using technical field names instead of this order, and in type structure you are using plain names, data is same but fields are not matching. In that case, move corresponding is not going to work. You need to do field to field mapping. If there is any difference in the column names, right, whatever the data you are selecting from the select statement and whatever the type structure you define, move corresponding is not going to work if they are not same, right? Now what is our requirement? We need to populate the icon, right? If ls underscore sales data hyphen, what is the field for price? And price, right? Not NETWR. We have changed the field names as price. Price is less than or equal to 100. Then what we need to populate for the icon? WA final sales. Icon is in this work area, right? WA final sales work area. Or just take it as LS instead of taking different naming convention. I'll just take LS. LS hyphen icon. Hyphen icon equal to, we can
Right.
populate numbers like 1, 2, 3. I think one for red. I don't remember. Let's populate it. Else if, what is the second condition? Price is greater than 100. That means unlimited, right? We need to restrict it using and, or you can also use between. Price is less than or equal to 500. Then icon equal to 2. That means yellow. Else rest of the value. For the rest of the values, that means whatever the value greater than 500. Icon 3. Okay. And then we have updated the icon value, then append ls final sales to which one? This one. You clear we can simplify this loop statement. So try, okay, try yourself. Is there any chance to avoid this loop statement or not? To populate this icon, okay. Now we are populating the icon values to final internal table. ls. To do so, we need one small thing here. We have a concept called layout in ALV output or in ALV display. We have a first, let's change this. What is the internal table we need to pass for the ALV grid display? That the whatever the internal table data we are selecting in the select statement or this loop statement, whatever the internal table we are appending in the loop statement. We have updated the icon values to this internal table, right? Pass this internal table to ALV grid display and make sure in the field catalog the columns whatever there in the this internal table, right? You should use same column names here in the field catalog because I have taken the same column names. I'm not changing any field catalog. Okay. Now, what is the next step? We have a concept called layout. Go to grid display, go to importing parameters. Layout parameters are available in this import parameter, layout parameter. It's a work area like structure. If you observe this, it's not an internal table like structure. Even if you can observe naming standard, IS, right? Importing parameter structure. It's not an internal table. If you observe field catalog, it is IT, right? What do you mean by IT? As per the naming convention, it is internal table like structure, right? The reference is table type for field catalog. If you take layout, the reference is just a structure, okay. And this layout structure contains layout properties, right? This layout structure contains layout properties. You go back and check the second structure, ALV spec. These are deep structures, right? No column heading. If you don't want to display any column headings, you need to populate this no column heading parameter. No hotspot. If you don't want to allow any hotspots in the ALV display, you need to populate this. Okay. If you want to display zebra pattern in the ALV report, you need to populate this parameter. Okay. All layout related properties, formatting related properties, you can set in a layout parameter. Okay. Here, what is our requirement? We need to display traffic symbols, right? Traffic lights, right? I think there should be a field for traffic symbols. Let's check that parameter in different type structures. Column width optimize. What does this column width optimize do? It will automatically adjust the column length. Depends on the value. Okay. Here, lights field name. Okay, lights field name. This is the parameter we need to take for traffic lights in the ALV layout parameter. Okay. First, what is the prerequisite to use this? Paste it here, that field name, traffic light field name. Okay. What is the prerequisite to use this? First, define the layout parameter. What is the type of this layout parameter? This one. Is it a structure or table type?
Structure.
It's a structure. So you need to define one work area, not the internal table. Okay. Prerequisite is you should be using slice type group ls underscore layout type. Okay. So if you need to apply any formatting options on the ALV output, we need to use this layout option. Okay. Now this is, where is the field? Yeah, this one, lights underscore field name, layout hyphen lights underscore field name. What is the field name we are using for icons? Traffic lights. What is the field name we are using for traffic lights? Icon, right?
Icon.
Icon. For this field, right, populate that column name here, ICON in capital letters. Okay. Then what is the next step? Populate or pass this importing parameter to the ALV grid display function module. I think we have deleted that layout parameter. Double click or just call the function module again, populate the required parameters again, or simply observe in which position that layout structure is there. Before field catalog, right? It is before field catalog. Copy this, but you need to make sure you are placing it in the right place. Before field catalog, layout equal to what you need to pass, that work area, layout work area. Okay, here, that's it. Let's test to make sure the program is working. Working, right? This value 1000 displaying green. Why it is displaying in yellow? Because it is greater than 100 and less than 500. It is 200. That's why it is displaying in yellow. Since it is less than 100, it is displaying in red color. Okay, for the rich visualization. Okay, so for the better look and feel, right? Instead of displaying the values, if you display these icons, so user can have a better visualization, right? So this is how we can display traffic lights for the ALV reports. Is there any difficulty here? So try other layout options available by defining layout structure. Okay, make sure you are calling in the right position, that layout, or just call the function module again instead of adding it manually, right? Just call the ALV grid function module again and populate all the parameters again. So what we did here, to display the traffic symbol, we have created a type structure, and along with the existing final output, we have added one more extra column called icon, right? And for the icon value, we are looping the data and populating the icon value with corresponding icon number. 1 for red, 2 for yellow, 3 for green. Okay, so we are populating these corresponding values inside the loop, and we are using that final internal table which contains the icon. We are passing that in the ALV grid output, and we are building the field catalog as it is, right? You need to make sure whatever the final internal table columns, same column names you have to use here. Okay, and the prerequisite to use this is you need to define a layout structure. You can refer that structure name in the ALV grid function module, and there is one special field called light field name. Okay, in the ALV in the layout type structure, if you go to this, you can check this. In layout type structure, there is a special field called icon. So populate that icon, that light field name with whatever the field name you have taken here. You can take any field name, not only icon. Okay, you can take any field name here. So whatever the field name you are using here, just pass it to this layout field name, lights field name column, and pass this layout structure to ALV grid function module. Okay, this is very simple way. There is another way where we have to pass icon symbol. Okay, that's not necessary, but it's a very easiest way to achieve this requirement. We can also do this in the object oriented ABAP by using class methods. When we are working on object oriented, we'll see that. Okay, this we can achieve in procedural programming using function modules. Is everyone clear? Like that, we have editable ALV option where we can display editable output. Let's say we can enable any of these values. For example, price, we can enable for the user input so that they can edit the value, and we provide a button here, save, and then it will update in the sales order data. That is called editable ALV. We'll see that functionality also. How can we create editable ALVs? Okay. We can also add custom buttons in ALV output. Our own custom buttons in the ALV output instead of the standard menu options, right? We can add our own menu options and buttons. Okay. For the user actions, we can see that in a different session. Okay.